Hey there, everyone, and welcome to the first series that I am releasing on the Common Tongue Podcasts. And for this series, we are focusing on the Dungeons and Randomness Podcast. They are a very, very good podcast, a D&D podcast. I've been listening to them for the last 5 years almost now. They're really, really good. They're such a fantastic group. And this is our first episode with them, with Mandy Miyahira. She is one of the characters. She's one of the cast members of the podcast. And honestly, I really and genuinely enjoy these people. They're so much fun to talk to. They're so much fun just to get to know. And I really hope that you enjoy this series. Just to let you know, there might be a few spoilers ahead for the Dungeons and Randomness Podcast, Arcs 3 and maybe a little bit of 4. I'm really sorry about that. I know that if you're listening to it, but it was kind of unavoidable. Sorry. But yeah, hopefully you enjoy this episode and you'll enjoy the rest of the episodes that we have coming out with this. So here we go. Okay, anyway, let's get this started since you are a busy woman.
Oh, well, not really. I'm just going to play Hoonie Pop after this, so yeah.
Well, there you go.
Busy.
I mean, I've been playing Genshin for 2 hours.
I heard.
Okay, so hey there, everyone. Welcome to another mediocre attempt at a podcast here at the Common Tongue Podcast. And I know you're trying really hard not to laugh, but it's okay to laugh. I have a very special guest on the other side of the world. Let's go with that one. That sounds like a good idea. Please introduce yourself and state what you do for the record.
Hi, I'm Mandy Miyahira, and I play D&D on the Dungeons and Randomness Podcast. Oh, doing so well.
You had it, and now we're gonna end the recording and just bye, everybody.
It's gone. It's gone.
Okay, for everybody who knows who you are, they're gonna know who you are. For everybody who doesn't know who you are, what characters did you play in the podcast? Or do you play?
Oh, I've started with Iris Hawker, who is a cleric. If you are still on Art 2, spoiler, she died. Then I played again later Nika, who is my character until the end of the arc. She was only in for a couple episodes. And in this current arc, I'm playing Lee Argent, who is a fighter. She is very fragile because I took Jason's double deal. And she has 3 constitution, which for a fighter, not good.
You don't want that. Yeah.
No,
but I just realized something. You and Alex are in the same group.
We are.
So I get to have the same conversation because I had this conversation where I just finished the episode with the deal with the Lion Folk.
Ooh, that was a good episode.
Yeah.
That was a fun episode, yes.
For some reason it clicked in my head because I just barely finished it. We had finished scheduling the recording for this podcast episode, and I just finished that episode, and I was like, oh gosh, she's such a BAMF.
You wouldn't know that given like the first episode of the arc, because I was like, oh, that's when she got turned to stone. And
right,
like,
yeah.
But I was like, yes, now I can finally look cool. She needs to.
And that's
be
what
cool.
you get for having a 3 con.
Yeah, I took the double deal. It's like I get +1 weapon and armor. Yes, please. Oh, Constitution. Oh no. The shiny is it holds me.
It's funny because I feel like Jason and I are the same kind of DM in the sense that we like torturing our players, but at the same time, we like giving them huge rewards for it.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, as long as you have also the shiny, the dangly goodness, and you give it to them, that's fine. Even though death awaits, we can kind of accept it.
Yeah. So the first character you played, Iris Hawker.
Mm-hmm.
So at the very beginning, I'll be honest with you, I kind of didn't like her at the very beginning. When I first met her, I was like, but then once I found out that she was more of a missionary for Vecna, I was like, okay, no, I can get into this. Just because of what had happened with, was it Braylon's group
Mm, yeah,
with Vecna. I was like, okay,
the
never
Vecna
mind. Vecna's
Daddy.
the coolest person in the entire world. I'm totally okay with Iris now.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, when that came out though, I was so bitter. I was like, Jason, cleric of Vecna, why are you not giving me the Vecna love? Why are you giving it to these others? No, Jason.
So did you pick that character?
I did. I pitched it to them. I went into it thinking, because they had just lost Effany, Jane's character, who is a bard. I was like, they need a healer because Merrick was not healing.
He was going down more that warlock route.
Yeah, he was. So I was like, I gotta be a healer just to round things out. And then I was at that time, I was like, what god would be great? And at that time, Vecna was kind of having an upswing with the bell and everything. I was like, I want to do this. And I thought of the weirdest way to kind of swing her. It's like, instead of going the emo route, why don't we go that she thinks of him as this in a total optimistic way? He's the god of life and rebirth, second chances. I was like, yes. And then I had watched the Book of Mormon a while ago, and I was like, she's going to be a Book of Mormon for President Perfect.
So I should probably mention something. I'm actually LDS.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you watched Book of Mormon? How does it compare? I have no knowledge of Mormonism-ish.
Okay. So I will say I've never seen the Book of Mormon. Mainly because I went through a similar situation where I went on my mission. I loved my mission. And I came home and I went what they called less active.
Okay.
So I stopped going to church. I stopped doing all the stuff. And in all honesty, it wasn't a fun time. So I feel like I will never see it because they take something that I genuinely loved. I loved my mission. It was one of the greatest things that I've ever done. And then they took that experience that I had afterward and made light of it.
Got it.
That's how I understand it. Even though I've never seen it, which I probably should, just to make sure that I have my facts right. But from what everybody has told me and the way that I understand how it's portrayed, I was like, I don't think so.
Yeah, they do. I mean, it's the creators of South Park. They're gonna mess with it, and they did.
That being said, the LDS Church had one of the greatest comebacks to that. Was that on the back of the program for the Book of Mormon? It's the church actually had an ad spot on the back of the oh God, what is the word? The pamphlets.
Yeah.
Or the cast list.
Yeah.
And it said, "You've seen the play, now read the book." And genuinely, in my head, I was thinking that is the smartest thing they could have done. Rather than blast the play, I genuinely think they had the mindset of, okay, you can do what you want with it, but at the same time, we're also going to throw our own 2 cents into the pile.
Yeah. And that's smart because, they could have blasted. They could have had all this negative roar, but no, it's just like, okay, but how about to look at it?
Yeah.
Why not?
So interesting that you say that because, oof.
Yeah.
Because I think now that I actually think hard on it, I think that actually came out when I was on my mission too. I served my mission from 2014 to 2015.
Oh, a whole year.
So technically, I was there from April 2014 to September 2015.
Oh, so yeah.
So it was 18 months. Normally it's 2 years. I had to come home for mental health issues. And then that's why I went on a downward spiral. But hold on. Let's find out when. Let's do a Common Tongue fact check, which if you've never listened to an episode, I do this almost every episode because I like keeping my facts straight.
And where did he go?
I went to East LA. So the mission that I served in was called the Arcadia Mission, the California Arcadia Mission. So it comprised of, okay, so going from the top part, it went from Tahunga all the way down to Montebello.
Oh,
So it had Glendale and Eagle Rock and all that part. And then it went all the way to Chino, all the way to the 83 highway in Ontario. Well, I think it was like the border of Ontario and Chino. So
yeah, I grew up in Monterey Park, so I'm like, oh, hey, you were right over there.
Oh yeah. Monterey Park was actually, I don't think I served in Monterey Park, but I served in
I was like, Montebello, yeah.
Monterey Park is
right by Montebello.
Because it goes Eagle Rock, or no, so it goes Glendale, Eagle Rock, and then is it Monterey Park and then Montebello? Not necessarily directly in a line.
Yeah, not directly, but yeah, essentially, I think.
Or is it closer to Arroyo Park? Now I got to. Now we have to figure this out.
Okay,
yeah,
this is another one.
Let's find out. Let's see.
My geography is not good, so it's like Montebello is over there. It's you go on the freeway and you get to the mall.
Eagle Rock, California.
Montebello is there.
Oh, Cypress. No, so I was in Cypress Park. Sorry, I lied. So Glassell Park and Cypress Park was where my main. I was 6 months in that area. So, okay, yeah, now I know where I'm at. So Monterey Park is directly east of Los Angeles, where what they consider like downtown Los Angeles.
Yeah, it is directly east. Yep.
Okay, so it's Pasadena, Alhambra, Monterey Park, and then Montebello.
Yes.
That's what it is.
That's it.
Okay, yeah. So I started in El Monte. El Monte. How they say it. So I started in Monte, and then I went to over here at Mount Washington, close to Glendale.
Okay.
And then I went all the way to Chino. But so my area covered Diamond Bar, Chino, Montclair, a little bit of Pomona, Narrad, Ontario, Chino Hills, all the way to Sleepy Hollow.
Jeez. Sleepy
Hollow. Yeah, I had and Claremont, and I think I had a little bit of Laverne. I think, if I remember correctly. Maybe not that far.
Wow, you started kind of going into the outskirts of LA County. Is that even still LA County?
No, technically I had all of the southern part of San Bernardino County.
Got it.
Because I think the county line goes Diamond Bar, Sleepy Hollow, all the way down here, down to 71. I want to say all that is San Bernardino County. Man, I don't remember.
Was it you kind of went all in the outskirts? It's like there's not much out there.
No, yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's not as fun as.
I wonder if I could find out where I live too. Oh, Glendale, the Americana is one of my favorite things. I love going to the Americana. I actually had a friend who worked at the Cheesecake Factory at the Americana. And so he would bring us cheesecake all the time. It was the worst.
Just like, I'm just going to keep eating.
Basically. Every time we saw him, he'd bring us some form of food. And he was also a cook at the Four Seasons.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So this man could really, really cook.
Well, you were working hard, so he needed the calories. That's okay. Eat that. Ugh. I hope you ate all that cheesecake. You deserved it. You're doing work.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't even remember what the train we were talking on. Because you were talking about the Book of Mormon, how you wanted that for Vecna.
That is what I want. And I was like,
that's a weird parallel to draw, though. I don't think anybody would ever go Vecna to the Book of Mormon play.
Because I was like, oh man, he's so broody. Let's gonna make it white. He's like, knock, knock, knock. Have you thought of Vecna lately?
Can I introduce you to our Lord and Savior Vecna?
Exactly.
Yeah, basically. That's super funny because one of the characters right now in my campaign, he's a cleric of a monitor,
Ooh.
but he's like a super drunk. He has a thing called his flask of many things. Yeah, basically anytime that we come within a mile of a tavern, he walks in, tells the bartender, fill it up with whatever you've got, and then he leaves, basically. And here's the thing, he'll never finish drinking it. So he'll drink it about halfway and then go up and fill it up again with whatever they have on tap or whatever the bartender just puts in there.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, he's got some weird stuff in there right now. So
can the flask mix them? I'm gonna make a mixer.
I think he does it anyway. Like, just he's on it. His horse's name is Peanut.
It's so cute.
Yeah, and I think if I remember correctly, I think Peanut has a constitution of 18 and an intellect of 7.
What Peanut is? Wow, you
Yeah.
go, Peanut. You might be better than your buddy. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty great. But we've also been playing around with the Endurant class.
Ooh.
So that's a lot of fun too.
Yes. Oh, I got to help Jason playtest it. So fun.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was that like?
Oh man, I like a lot of it was he'd just give us all the, imagine it in the book, and it was I think longer when we were playtesting, just so many powers. It's just like, here's a PDF that I printed out as a stack of paper, and I'm just finding mine. Oh, and it was just so, we tried all the different ones, and I got to, it's like, how can I break this? And it was good. So we tried first like a first level, then we tried a level 20, and it's just like, oh, this is broken when you get to 20.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, my character's just hit level 10.
Ooh.
And so she had to pick I think it's called not the path.
There's another thing. They have an extra path in.
Yeah, it's the split that they do. You can go down of one of two.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it's called. I don't have actually, no, I do have the PDFs on me, so I'm gonna pull them up because I want to be correct in this. I'm also gonna have to pull up my group notes because I have it written in there where that's at.
What kind of endurance is she?
She is anger.
Oh,
yeah.
Everybody always goes to the dark ones. I think I picked. What's the calm one? That was fun.
It's not 206. What page are endurance on? Ilaran backgrounds, cryptozoologist, endurance. I think I found something.
I got it. Okay, I was like, my book is down there. Can I reach it?
Ducking out. I have the PDF. So no. Races of Alara. Nope. I think it's a little further down. Here we go. The emotional wells.
Ooh.
There's love, calm, fear, joy, anger, and hate. Those are the wells that you can have. At 10th level, it is called the path. Okay, so it is called the path. Okay, I was right.
Yeah, so I would have sworn that the path was the first one, but makes sense.
If I remember correctly, so she hasn't picked yet. So I know we came up with the thing in our game. We came up with it where she has to pick before she levels up.
Okay.
Before she hits level 11. But so with anger, it's measured response and directionless animosity. Those are the two paths that you can take. And she genuinely thinks she's going directionless animosity. But the way that she's been playing it lately, I think she's going to pick measured response.
Oh,
But yeah, Lilith, if you're listening to this, hi, first off. And also,
hi.
You play you. Do you.
Yeah, do whatever you think is fun. But if you want to blow up your party members, that's okay too.
Hint for everybody out there. Pro tip for all you beginner D&D players and for all you pro D&D players. Mandy, you're a pro D&D player. Everybody else, just remember, don't kill your party members unless you're meaning to do that.
Or if it's really fun.
No, Mandy, you can't. No,
I mean,
you
if
you
it's
can't kill your
super
teammates.
fun, if it's
See, I
really
feel
fun.
like if Iris would have survived, she would have been the kind of person who would have tried to convince everybody to die and let her bring them back.
Oh, yeah. She was all about letting them survive, but if it looked, hopeless, then she'd say, "Oh yeah, you don't need that body. Let me use
Let me
it."
borrow it.
Yeah.
I'll keep it in 2 pieces, but
Yeah. She was a big proponent for recycling. Reuse, reduce, recycle.
I don't. Do you think Vecna is the god of recycling?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Whoa! I didn't think that Theria was that evolved yet.
I mean, you gotta just no waste, man.
Oh,
Vecna's all about no waste.
there we go. Everybody, if you hear that, take a shot or remember to drink your water. I don't know if you can hear that.
I can hear it. What was that?
That is the fire station across the street. So that means that they're responding to a call.
Oh, good luck, buddies.
Yeah, but so that's an ongoing joke that we have, is that every time that goes off randomly, everybody has to take their water or take a shot.
Okay, I got my Diet Coke.
Perfect. And I have my whatever this. Oh, this is my Mio water.
Oh, delicious. Mio gives me
# not
headaches,
sponsored by Mio.
Oh, you should be.
So, okay. I think we've done. Oh, whoa. Okay. It's 6:30 at night. I don't think I've eaten since like 11 o'clock.
Go eat.
I probably should. No. But so
we can pause and you go get a snack.
No, I promise I know how to speak. No, I have snacks. It's fine. I know how to speak English. I have a degree in linguistics. Everything is fine. So, I feel like we've gone on tangents, which is totally fun, and I love it.
Yes.
But so, when did you start playing D&D? What was your first interaction with it?
I played D&D, started when I was about 12, 13.
Whoa.
Yeah. This was eons ago because I'm old. And my friend had a sleepover, and her other friend had the red box, just the starter kit. And we're like, what's that? And we just played it, and we were all like, this is the most amazing thing in the world. We love it. And
wait a minute. Was this wasn't 30, right?
No, this is 2nd edition. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So good times.
That's a relic.
Yeah. 2-hit armor class 0, Thecko. Yeah, those were the times. It was
That's wild.
So fun.
I don't even think Xavier started with 2E. Did he?
I mean,
I'd have to listen back.
I'm older than all these bubs, except for Jasper and Jason. They're older than me. So
I'd have to listen back to that because I think he said he started with 3rd edition.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, so this opens up a whole new venue of questions because so have you played all the editions up from 2nd edition? I
played 2nd, 3rd, 3.5. I did not play 4th edition. I have the book, but I never got to play it since I didn't start with Arc 1 with DNR.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't play that. I sure looked at it. I didn't quite like it. I was like, this is weird.
It seemed very detail oriented, more than it should have been. And
it seemed like an MMO in paper form, which would be okay, but it was weird.
You're a wizard. Oh my gosh. That's the perfect way to describe that character sheet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Holy crap. Powers, I've never thought of it that way.
So in theory, it looked fun, but then listening to the DNR, I was like, whoa, it just gets, when they get more powerful, it's like this gets blown up. But like MMO, it's like the progression.
Hey everyone. I'd like to take a moment to thank today's amazing sponsor, Pimsleur. Now, I'm really excited about this one. As a linguist, I love learning languages and maintaining them. Pimsleur is the amazing way to go from a beginner to an intermediate speaker of a language in just 30 days. But you may be asking, why Pimsleur? And let me tell you, Pimsleur is a program uniquely focused on conversational skills. It's not a vocabulary, image, and word matching game app that's like so many other programs out there. It's all about practical conversational skills. When it comes to developing speaking skills, Pimsleur is the answer. And because it's conversation-based, you can learn while driving to work, while exercising, or cooking dinner. Turn your downtime into a powerful new skill, guys. And Pimsleur has over 50 languages to choose from. So what are you waiting for? Check out the link in the description of this episode, and don't just take my word for it. Try it absolutely free for 7 days with the offer in this link. I'm going to be 100% honest. I never listened to Arc 1.
That's all right.
But I did listen to the recap.
Oh, the recap's good.
Yeah, that's a really good recap. Jason, you did a real good job on that recap.
Yeah.
It was a real good recap. So I never had any interaction with 4th edition until I started listening to God's Fall. Not because they play in 4th edition, but because their DM, he was so used to 4th edition that when it came out, he kept saying 4th edition stats for them to roll rather than 5e. So
Makes sense.
I kept hearing him say all this. I think he said one time, roll street knowledge.
Yep, Streetwise.
Oh, yeah, Streetwise.
Yeah.
And in my head, I was thinking, I'd never heard of that before. And then I found out it was all 4th edition. It's like, I should probably start doing Streetwise. And then I learned, no, I can't do that anymore. Darn.
Jason does that every now and then. It's like, no, buddy.
Does he actually?
Yeah, it's like, oh, roll a, he just mentioned Streetwise in one episode. I was like, it's not the thing, guys.
Yeah. So out of all the editions that you've played, is 5e your favorite?
Ooh, interesting question.
Because you played 2, 3, 3.5, and 5.
Yeah. It's a toss-up between 3.5 and 5 because 5e is really fun in how streamlined it is. Everything just is a lot easier. But something I kind of like the nitty-grittiness of 3.5. There's just it towards the end, like with Pathfinder and all the different things you can get, the different feats and traits and everything. It got really blown up. But a part of me will always kind of like that nitty-grittiness. I mean, compared to 2, it's nothing. But so was
3.5 more built for Pathfinder games, or was it also built for D&D?
3.5 was fixing what they did in 3, which was I think it was broken. A lot of things they had to kind of tweak. And after that, Pathfinder grew from that. Just was like, because they were going to keep fixing it or adding to it. So Pathfinder's like, we'll take yoink, and it became Pathfinder.
Gotcha. Okay.
And still going.
I have no interaction. I've had no interactions with anything other than Dungeons and Dragons. So I've never played Call of Cthulhu. I've never played anything like that. Everything that I've played has either been direct Wizards of the Coast Dungeons and Dragons or something like this with Theria. I've never played Warhammer, any of that.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many.
Have you only played Dungeons and Dragons, or have you also branched out?
I've branched out. When I was in college, I joined...
Where'd you go to college?
UC Davis. Nice. Aggies.
Is that a big D&D nerd school?
It is, honestly. We had a pretty big anime club, and then like all of us pretty much also went over to it was called Dragon, and I don't even remember what it was an acronym for, but it was basically the role-playing gaming thing. Yeah. We met every Friday, and like I came in only.
You can't meet on Fridays though. You can't do that because there's F&M.
F&M?
Yeah, Friday Night Magic.
Well, they play Magic too.
So you were playing Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering?
Everything. Yeah. I also I never got into Magic. I would play it called? There's another card game that they got us into.
You're saving your wallet some heartache.
Oh no, because I got into another one and I spent thousands of dollars on it. And it's no longer
on a TCG?
Yeah. Oh man.
What was it? Oh no,
It,
actually no. Don't tell me here. We're gonna do it in the second episode. We'll talk
oh,
about that then
okay.
because oh buddy, there's some weird trading card games out there.
Yeah. Oh man, I got
Oh
so much money. I'm just
yeah,
like,
no, we're not gonna.
uh,
Okay. Anyway,
I cry.
so
Whew. Oh,
so
but
college, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
in college, and I came in only knowing like D&D, specifically second edition, and then they're like,
Mhm.
"Oh no, let us show you all these things." That's where I got into third ed. That was even before 3.5, so we didn't know it was broken. It was fine. Played L5R.
Ignorance is bliss.
Oh god, yeah. I mean, even now I don't know what they changed. I'm just like, it's fine. Like
It's fine.
to me, the
It
numbers.
plays the same.
Yeah, it plays the same. It's fine. L5R, random things like the Star Wars RPG. My favorite was
Oh.
Alternity, which is no longer I don't think it was even available
Right.
then. Somebody just had it, and it was one of those ones where D20, but the lowest is the best, and it's like, this is so mind blowing. It was fun.
That's weird. I wonder what system they're using for Respect the Crit.
Oh, what are they? Shoot, they said, and I don't remember.
I wouldn't know because
Yeah.
I don't listen to it enough, and I don't think they mention it. Do they?
They talk about it.
I have no
Damn
idea.
it, I don't remember.
I'll have to ask Alex later. I don't know. So, okay, because this is very topical because I just had a conversation with Alex about this. So I like playing very specific characters, and I very rarely branch out. So for me, it's always elves and rogues.
Oh wow. Okay. That's your
for some
that's your
reason,
thing.
but specifically rogues. I don't like playing hunters. I don't like playing elf hunters. I like playing elf rogues.
Well, hunters aren't great in 5e, so
Yeah, no. But so who was that for you? Because I started with elves and that kind of stuff because of somebody introducing me to World of Warcraft and starting me playing blood elves, or not blood elves, because blood elves were alliance.
No, blood elves are
Blood elves are alliance, or was it night elves that are alliance?
night elves are alliance. Yes, they're the
Okay, cool.
ones,
Then yeah, so blood elves and undead rogues. Those are the two that I always played because of somebody who introduced me to WoW. And so ever since then, I've always liked playing those kinds of characters.
Nice.
So what is your base character and class that you love playing and you know everything for?
Okay. Let's see. For tabletops specifically, I usually trend towards fighters, mostly because I love the thought of, being buff and having weapons and going roar. Oh man. I love thinking of the difference. Like, what weapon can I use this time? Oh, let's make it interesting.
Oh, right, because there's such a variety. Yeah, that makes sense.
So, and it's also, it's nice and easy. I don't have to think about magic. Magic is fun, but sometimes it stresses me out. So I'm like, I just want to hit things.
Right. So do you like playing, so what race do you like playing?
I usually pick human. I am very basic. Yeah. I am basic.
Listen, why fix what's not broken?
Right? It's like usually they're jack of all trades, get like 5e, get the +1 in all stats. It's like, yay, that's great.
Actually, I just had my first encounter with Jack of all trades with this campaign that I'm doing. That was my first encounter with Jack of all trades because I think 2 of my characters have it. Yeah, so it was interesting seeing that because I'd never seen it before and I had to learn how to build it into a character sheet. So that was really interesting.
So yeah, usually human. And I'm also weird about, it's like elves are weird looking, dwarves are weird looking. Humans are just. Sometimes I'm just like it's.
Are you a racist towards fantasy races?
Sometimes I'm a bit of racist towards like, especially to me the tiny ones. I'm like I can't.
So like halflings and gnomes and oh my god.
My brain can't picture it well. It's like it's somebody that just comes up to my shoulder. So I'm already short. I'm 5'3". I don't want to be shorter than that.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like if I want to be tall and cool.
Okay, I think let's put a disclaimer on this too. Mandy is not racist. In real life, she's not racist. She's not racist in real life. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know her personally, but we're talking about fantasy races, so it's
Yeah.
not necessarily that it's okay to be. You know what? How about we just drop the topic?
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
just that.
Love everybody, guys. Yay.
I remember growing up, one of my old bosses, he said, "I'm not a racist because I hate everybody equally."
Nice. I'm okay
It's
with
like,
that. Yeah.
cool, great. He's keeping it a level playing field, I guess. So in college,
Mm-hmm.
you were part of this D&D group.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Here's the main question.
Okay.
Because again, the reason why we're doing this is for this reason. What was the split in demographics between male and female in that
Ooh.
club?
It was probably, if I'm 75, 25% girls, if I'm being generous.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of dudes and there's, the girls around, but it was very heavily male.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I think that checks out
Mm-hmm.
for the most part, because I remember when I used to play D&D in college, I never played on campus.
Mm-hmm.
I always went to, there was a game shop
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
probably about a couple blocks from where I lived. And so I would always go there Wednesday nights
Mm-hmm.
after class, and we'd go play D&D. And until I brought a friend with me, I think there was only one other group that had one girl in it.
Yeah.
And I think we were playing with 4 groups.
Oh.
And so if I remember correct, no, sorry, that's a lie. I think there were 3 girls, 3 females in total out of 4 groups. And I think our group had the lowest number of people with 7 people.
Oh wow, big groups.
Well, that was including the DM.
That's still big.
Yeah, so 6 players and then
Yeah.
1 DM. And I think there was one group that had 8 players.
Ooh, man, combat must have been. It's like,
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna go and do homework while we wait for everybody.
No, yeah. I think I much prefer playing with smaller groups. I think 4 is the max
Mm-hmm,
that I will
mm-hmm.
go with.
Yeah, it makes everything more intimate, and everybody gets a chance to go. Yeah, and combat is less cumbersome.
Yeah, because I feel like especially when you have more players, you have to create more enemies so that there is enough
Yes.
time for everybody to get in.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And to make the DC go up and everything, it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, it just makes it long. Oh.
That being said, I did do one thing where it was 4 players up against 4 hobgoblins and 12 goblins.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was a fun time.
Did they have AoE?
There was one wizard.
Oh, well, okay, fireball would help, but
And I think one of the characters had a multi-attack.
okay. That's still that's a grind down.
No, yeah.
Down.
It was swarms of goblins.
Jeez.
And the funny thing is, I don't know if you're familiar. Are you familiar with Joe Cat?
No.
He does really funny stuff on YouTube about D&D. So it's called his crap guide to Dungeons and Dragons.
Actually, that sounds familiar.
Yeah. So the guy who makes his name is Joe Cat. He's super funny guy. But he has this little icon that he uses. So I use his main icon as my hobgoblin, and he has an actual goblin plushie design that he did, and I took that design and I use it for my goblins. And it was so funny because one of my characters, she said, "Is that Joe Cat?" And it was a good time. I love his designs, but he is supremely funny with explaining everything with Dungeons and Dragons. If you've never watched any of his stuff, you need to. It's hilarious.
Ooh, okay.
Everybody
Yeah,
out there, not just Mandy, everybody needs to go out and watch Joe Cat's Crap Died D&D because it's hilarious and you're going to learn so much about D&D.
Nice. Not
So,
sponsored, but could be.
again, not sponsored. Hashtag not sponsored by JoeCat. But so have you ever DM'd before or have you always been a player?
I DM'd when we were first starting out because nobody wanted to be the DM. I was horrible at it. I'm one of those DMs that wants to tell the story and then forgets that the characters have agency, and I should
Right.
remember that. And so I was like, oh, I can't do this. They're made convoluted stories and had scripts to read, and it's like, and they're just like, can we go hit things and say it's like,
Story's
okay.
fun, but where's the combat?
Yeah. And
And
so
how old were you? Like 15?
12, 13. Yeah.
Oh, oof.
Yeah. So I was trying to be cool, and it's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, somebody else could do it. And then I realized I want to be player instead. Don't want to be DM. So every now and then would DM for friends, but
yeah.
when the turn comes up, it's like, okay, I don't want to do it.
It's your turn to
Okay,
DM now.
it's my
It's like
turn.
chores. Nobody wants to DM.
Yeah, it really is.
The funny part is that before this campaign, I had never DM'd before.
Oh,
So this is my first attempt at DMing, and so far, I think I actually prefer it over playing.
really? Oh,
Yeah.
you're one of the chosen few that is just like, we must keep you and wrap you in gold because another will never be found again.
Build me a shrine, players. No, but it's just I like playing. I like playing just as much as the next person, but I like the story building aspect of
Mm,
being a DM
mhm,
and
mhm,
being able to come up with details on the fly.
mhm.
So it's really funny because actually tomorrow, so we're recording on a Wednesday. On Thursdays, it's game night, and I have 5 hours planned of
Ooh,
content.
that's a good amount of playing. I'm
Oh no,
jealous.
yeah, we have got some stuff to do. It's going to be so much fun because the way that we're playing it right now is that it's a centralized story around Umanuro.
Ooh,
Yeah,
nice.
because and this is in a I don't want to call it an alternate timeline, but it happens about 150 years before Overdale.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it's about the way that we parsed it out was that it was 2 or 3 years, I think, after Umanuro was raised,
Mhm, mhm.
and they're playing right around that time in Umanuro.
Interesting. So do they have the Warforged already? When were they?
Yes, but the way that it works is that they're kind of prototype.
Oh. Uh-huh,
Yeah.
uh-huh.
So it was really, really, really cool.
That is cool. Man, that's a good story. We do need to enshrine you. That's gold. I like it. Okay.
Well, no, so
Whoa.
so the main story right now is centralized around Umanuro and this plot in Umanuro.
Mhm.
And then the way that I want to take the story is they can do any one of 3 things. And it all depends on what character they want to follow with. Yeah,
Oh.
so I've got stories planned.
Oh,
And
yeah.
granted, not sponsored by Dungeons and Randomness, but I've got some good stories planned.
Ooh.
So I've even got a little thing with Barak.
Really?
Yeah. So this is where, so technically in this timeline, um, oh gosh, what's his name? The guy who took over the Demon Lord spot, the Blood Mage,
Yeah, Darmok.
Darmok. Yeah. So Darmok technically is not a Demon Lord yet,
Oh, yeah,
and
because it's
it.
in the past, yeah, uh-huh.
Oh wait, hold on. I still have the thing pulled up, so let's look up Demon Lords because
Yeah, what spot?
in the guide,
Mhm.
um, oh, thank you for not freezing on me, PDF. Maybe. Are you gonna? Hi. Oh, there are 1,336 instances of the word Demon Lords.
Of course there are.
I don't think that's right. I mean, in my That's the other thing. I forgot about that.
What?
See, this is why I love what you guys have done with Dungeons and Randomness, is because now that I'm remembering and looking at it, it pulled up Lauren Graves's character profile.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, that's some cool stuff.
That was so cool. Ugh, rest
Anyway,
in peace.
I'll look it up. But so basically, I have a whole thing with the demon lords.
Oh, that's so cool. Are they trying to come out?
Not necessarily,
Mhm.
but so Barok, in the way that I'm playing him right now, he's basically trying to gain followers so that he can rule the demon lords.
Ooh, he's doing the Darmok thing. Got it.
Kinda, yeah. But the way that he's doing it is that he's trying to get people to become warlocks of Barok, basically.
Mhm, mhm.
And
That's smart.
so both the funny thing was is that both two of my characters took it.
Nice.
They took his deal to become warlocks of Darmok.
Mhm, mhm.
The other guy didn't because he's the cleric of a monitor.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
But the reason why that's funny is because Barok was like, you know what? I can do this thing. I'll try and do a divine intervention for you and try and get a monitor to make you a warlock and a priest at the same time. Okay, look, and I told him too. I said the only way that this is gonna work is if you roll a nat 20. And guess what happened? He rolled a nat 20.
Nice.
So he is a cleric of a monitor that has 3 warlock spells.
Oh, that's amazing.
So he's a clerilock of a monitor,
Clear lock. Yeah,
which we need to normalize that. We need to normalize clerilocks. That's a
we do.
thing that we need to do. Because who said you had to be a warlock to an evil god?
Right? You don't have to.
I mean, look at Rob's character in Firebrand.
Oh, I haven't listened to Firebrand yet.
Have you not?
I've been so behind because of work. I need to
Yeah.
just be like, stop emailing me and put things.
I think if I remember correctly, Rob's character is a warlock of the god of civilization. The god of civilization. That's what it was.
That's weird. I
Yeah.
love that. Oh, of
I
course, Rob
know.
comes up with the weirdest things that are just like, why didn't anybody think of that? That's perfect.
It's dude, everybody listen out there, you just need to play D&D. That's all you need to do. Just play D&D and you'll understand what we're talking about.
Yeah. And this is kind of weird with the rules, but when you use your imagination, you can bend it however you want.
I think that's the fun thing too, is that you can do whatever you want as long as the DM allows it.
Yep.
So
Mhm.
if it's within the realm of reality in the DM's world, it's possible.
It's totally fine. You can make it
Yeah.
work. Mhm.
It's so much fun. And I think that's why I like D&D so much, is that you can have these crazy things happen, but it's not guaranteed that it will happen.
Yeah. Mhm, mhm.
So that's why I like it so much. There's so much. Anyway, so we've gone off on another tangent, but so here's the main question that I wanted to ask you is that in your, well, and I guess it's different now because you have your experience with college playing in, with a lot of different people in D&D, but to where the demographic was so skewed in one direction.
Mhm, mhm.
What was it like playing in that environment versus playing in an environment right now where you have not necessarily an equal demographic of male to female,
Mhm,
but it's
mhm.
closer than it was when it was in college?
Ooh. I think when I was playing in college and there's so many guys, I definitely felt more coddled. It's like a lot
Oh,
of, "Oh, here, try and do this," or, "Oh, let me look at your sheet," "Oh, you should do this
right.
and this." And at the time, I didn't mind, especially since, it was a new D&D, a system that I hadn't, wasn't familiar with, or we were trying different systems that um, that I was like, This is completely new. What is uh,
Mhm.
L5R? I don't know what this is." And um, so at the time, I didn't really mind, but looking back, I'm like, wow, they're kind of they put a lot of attention on me, and I was like, I think probably because I was a girl, there
Mm-hmm.
wasn't many girls, and nothing against them. I mean, because none of them were rude or they weren't trying to hit on me or anything, but there was a lot of just kind of like, let me mansplain a little bit, very gently to you, and
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and it's like it's fine. I mean, not fine. Please don't mansplain to girls. It's not cool. They probably understand, unless they don't, and then they'll ask. But
Yeah.
so definitely a lot of that uh, back in the day. Probably now, but when I was in that environment. Now it's we're all more equal. You know, a lot of us kind of have even more experience than some of the guys on the cast, so it's
Mm-hmm.
all kind of a very level playing field, and especially in DNR, we all have such respect for each other that we really fit together.
Right.
So
I know. And I think that's something that's even funnier too, is that I'll admit it when I don't know something. And one of my players, she's been playing for years and she's DM'd multiple campaigns and played hundreds of characters. And she'll tell me, oh, it's this way. This is how you're supposed to do this. I was like, oh, cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. I think it's really funny because I don't think it's very often where you'll have that situation reversed where it's one of the girls explaining how to play the game
mhm.
rather than a guy explaining it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's honestly, I'm extremely grateful for it
Mhm, mhm,
because it keeps everything just, I feel like it runs a lot smoother because of that.
mhm,
Because I
mhm,
feel like there are some people, and I think I've played with a couple people like that where they do like to not necessarily talk down to you,
mhm, mhm.
but it feels a little condescending,
Yeah, yeah.
just a little bit, because unless you tell people that you're a new player,
Mhm,
they're going to automatically assume that you're coming to the table with a full knowledge of
mhm.
the entire system.
Yeah. Mhm, mhm.
And I think that's one thing that, and maybe this is just me talking from my experiences. I don't know if you've had the same experience, but I genuinely feel that's kind of how it goes, where yes, the DM has the way that they want to play,
Mhm.
but I think it helps before you play the game that you get around where everybody's knowledge is.
Yes, yeah, because everybody has different, play styles. Sometimes they're more loose with the rules. Some are very into the rules. So, people
Hmm.
know different levels of things. Also, some people are just better at memorizing all these stat things, and
Right.
so you know, you, and a lot of times it's like just assume they have the book. They can look it up. It's fine. Kind
Yeah.
of.
And if you're like me when you were in college where you were too poor to afford the books, don't make fun of them for that
Yeah, that's not cool. Yeah,
because
because
it's
they're
not that
expensive.
hard to share. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
granted, they are expensive, but it's okay just to be like, hey, can I peek over your shoulder real quick?
yeah.
That's okay. It's okay to do that.
It is, especially if you want people to play with you. And D&D is
It's kind
group
of a,
activity.
yeah, it's, you kind of need more than one person to play.
Yeah, it
So,
helps.
last question.
Okay.
If there was one thing that you could tell your past self going into D&D, what would it be?
Ooh. I think I would tell myself just to just to keep enjoying it, cuz I had so much fun back in the day just reading cover to cover all my books. And
Mhm.
as time went on, it just kind of started to, you know, I started to
Grow
forget.
up?
I started to grow up and forget that the enjoyment is in just learning the game and playing the game. And I started to get a little more stressed about it. It's like, oh no, what if I'm not doing it correctly and everybody makes fun of me? It's like a part of that, the anxiety, that social anxiety, fun stuff.
Right.
It's like just relax, enjoy it, keep looking into it and researching, because that's the fun part. And you'll find your character when you get into it. And
Mhm.
I I would sometimes just be like, oh, okay, I'll just play a fighter. I mean, I love my fighters, but I'll just hit things, and I won't have a personality, and I'll just hit things. It's like, no, just enjoy it.
And I think
Find your niche.
the
Yeah.
other thing too is that it's okay to get into your character.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I remember when I first started playing, because I only first started playing when I was 22.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I'm 25 now.
Oh, late in the
So
game.
yeah, I very recently got into it. Hold on. Yeah, 4, maybe 5. No. How old am I?
How old
20.
are you,
It
love?
was 2018. Yeah, I did get into it in 2018. That was when because I'd known about it and I was listening to podcasts and everything.
Mhm, mhm,
And then that was when I actually started playing D&D. But so the way that I always played was, oh, my character is going to do this because I'm this, and this is what my backstory is. And that's how I would explain it. I was
mm,
like, oh, because of my background in this, I'm going to do this. And then I would roll. Or it says like, because I'm this attribute in my personality, I'm going to do this thing instead of actually acting out the character. And
mhm,
it worked for me at the time because I didn't know what I was doing. But
mhm,
once you get more comfortable with it, it is okay to change your play style.
mhm. Yeah, and that's the fun part. It's like you make your character, but people and characters change as they experience
Hmm.
things. So it's just like, yeah, enjoy, relax,
Or, kill your entire team. That's totally
or
fine
kill your
too.
entire team, of course,
Yeah,
because
depending on what
that's
kind of character
fun
you're playing.
too.
I don't know. I've never played a good character. I've always played either a neutral character, like
Mhm.
what is it? Neutral evil,
Ooh, good old neutral evil. Mhm.
or I think that's what I think I've always played neutral evil or chaotic good.
Nice.
I've never played anything that's around that. I like playing that. I'll give you an example. We started playing I have this character, and basically he is very one track mind unless he's trying to steal something. And that's all he is. So he will do anything he can to get his way. It doesn't matter what. So I'll give you a brief example and then we'll do closing remarks. So I have this character. He's my favorite character in the entire world. He is my boy.
Ooh.
Um, Basically, the way that the party got together was that there was a druid, and I was like, "Hey, you, come here. I need your help with something. I don't care what it's going to take for me to get your help. I need your help." And she's like, "But I don't like people. I don't like you." I was like, "Listen, I've got 10 gold in my pocket right now. I'll give you 10 gold if you help me." I had 20 gold in my pocket.
Nice.
And so she was like, "Ah, yes, 10 gold. I need to survive. I'll take it." And then we met the other member, and he was trying to hide himself because he's a minotaur. And the way he made his character was that he actually has black and white spots like an actual cow.
That's so cute.
So he was
Love.
like, I was pretending to be a cow and it didn't work. So basically, the druid made friends with the minotaur, and I'm over here trying to bribe them into helping me.
Nice.
And so I told the minotaur, I was like, hey, I've got 10 gold on me. You need to help me out. And she was like, didn't you just say you only had 10 gold on you? I was like, shush, I'm talking to him right now. He's the most chaotic energy person. Like, he's the exact opposite of me.
I
And it's
love it.
so much fun because you can play whatever you want.
Mhm. Let out all
So,
that energy deep inside.
and here's the thing, I'm going to take that energy and we're going to go deep into the past. Maybe we're going to see who is your favorite character that you've ever played in your, I'm going to say 25 years of playing D&D
Oh god. Okay, now let me do math.
of all time. Favorite character of all time.
Yeah, okay. So, favorite character of all time. So I was doing math. I was like, how old am I? It's just back to that.
So wait,
Okay,
was I close?
what did you say again?
25?
27 years. Yeah.
I was trying to be nice.
Trying to be nice because if you went any higher, I'd be like, you'd get the evil Asian
Yeah,
glare.
right. Because you said like I'm younger than Jason, but I'm older than most people. So I was like, oh.
Mhm.
Anyway, so favorite
Okay,
character all time.
favorite character of all time. Gosh. Okay, I'm gonna do the cop-out answer first because my favorite character really is Iris. But if I go outside of DNR characters, I just love my Mormon Vecna girl. Rest in peace, Vecna girl.
Oh, I genuinely was super sad when the both of you died.
Yeah,
It was shocking to me.
I was sad too. I had
Do
a
you
Twitter going
do you
up and
get
it was
it? It was shocking. Do you get it?
um, now you get the glare. Now you get the glare. I think my all-time favorite character though. Ooh, okay. I never actually got to play him as he was because I was DMing at the time, but my favorite
Mhm.
character was this um I think it was a bar fighter berserker named Arthur who was sold to slavery, and he also had a sister that he had to like fight to go find. And I was very into the whole I'm still am into the whole like archetype of a very chill character who gets really really mad if the person they care about is hurt. And
Oh,
that was
yeah.
basically the character. And it's like he just cares so much for his sister that he couldn't see at all throughout most of his life, that whenever she is hurt he goes berserko. And
Mhm.
I spent so much time lovingly crafting this character, and I don't think I ever got to play him except as like he was put into
Kinda like an
shield.
NPC.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, last question because I just thought of this, and this is an important thing that I can't believe I didn't ask earlier. Are you more into character backstory or character details? Because in my head there is a clear difference between the two.
Okay, explain the differences.
Okay, so character backstory is, the history of that person, right?
Mhm,
The why they're doing what they're doing at the current time,
mhm,
right?
mhm.
Character details are the minutia of that person in terms of what they look like, their height. Are you going to make drawings? Are you going to make, you know, a whole thing just around that one person?
Oh, I am more into the details. That's usually how I start a character. Is I'll be like, I want to make this class, and they are vaguely this personality,
Mhm.
and this is kind of what they do. And then from there, I build a character, and then I work the background into it.
That makes sense.
Mhm.
I guess because I'm the complete opposite, where I build backstory and then I build the character. Because I
Mm,
build that character in terms of how his story is,
mhm, mhm,
and I guess if that makes sense, like with stats and everything like that.
mhm. Yeah. Yep.
I don't know. That's so interesting.
Yeah, I don't think I've had a character where I've been like, I have a background and then I'm going to make my character. Nope. I think every time I was like, here's a general concept and top down. It's like
I'm gonna have to
scat.
try that this time. Next time I build a character, I'm gonna have to try that method because I've never done that before.
I like it. I mean, I'm very detailed, very like into the nitty gritty. It's like, ooh,
Hmm.
are they buff? What weapon do they? And then like, I love me some weapons, some fantasy weapons. I'm like, what weapon do they use? And that is the first and foremost.
Hmm.
Sometimes.
I think that's genuinely the last thing that I think about is what kind of weapon they use.
Really new
Yeah.
shiny weapon. I knew Iris was going to wield a cool little short sword that was kind of jagged because it represents like the teeth of the Vecna symbol. I was just like, yes. And that was my first thing before she had parents.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So cool. In Mandy's mind, it goes weapons before parents. Good
Yep.
to know.
It's like, forget about parents. I want to know what she's stabbing.
Okay. Anyway, cool. Mandy, thank you so much for doing this. I had a lot of fun with this.
Oh, I had so much fun. This is great.
If anybody wants to find you, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Mandy Miyahira. So my name. Will you? My last name is Miyahira, and just
I will
because,
put it in the description
yeah,
in
a
case
lot of
anybody wants to
people.
know.
Yeah, I'm so used to spelling it out. Like, oh, yeah, pizza delivery. How do you spell your name?
Yeah, that's how I do it too. Nobody knows how to spell my last name. So on Twitter.
At Twitter, that's really the best one. Instagram I have, but I don't. I do pictures of my cats. So if you want to look at my cats,
There's some pretty good cat pictures in there.
hey, what is my Instagram? See, I know my Twitter. I don't know my Instagram one.
I think it's the same thing. I think it's Mandy Miyahira.
Oh, do. How do I find? Oh, yep, it's Mandy Miyahira. Yep,
Look at that.
sure is. And yeah, those two things. Oh yes, I should plug that the Dungeons and Randomness podcast. You can search for us on your favorite podcast listen thing, audio thing.
Platform.
Yeah, there we go.
And you are Iris Hawker in arcs 2 and 3, or is it just arc 3?
3.
And then arc 4.
Arc 4, I am Lee Argent. I'm a fighter with 3 constitution, guys. She's not going to live much longer, I think.
So tweet at her, make fun at her for that.
Yeah.
The fact that she is a beefy fighter that can't take a hit. I'm going to call it for the night. Everybody, have a good night. And everybody, do me a favor. Remember this. Just remember to get some sunlight and get some water because you're basically a houseplant with complicated emotions. Okay? Just remember that.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey there, everyone, and thank you so much for listening to this episode. I really did enjoy talking with Mandy. She's a really, really cool person. I genuinely think that you guys are going to enjoy our second episode. It was so much fun. We had so much fun recording that. So tune in next week for her episode of For Nostalgia's Sake, and then we will be moving on to other cast members until we finally get to the man himself, Jason, their dungeon master. So you're not going to want to miss this series. It's a lot of fun. So we will definitely see you on the next one.